the idea of revenge. Hello everyone, and welcome to another manga thematic analysis. Since you guys loved my idea of love video, I decided to make a similar video essay on the idea of revenge in Vinland Saga. We will investigate the way that themes of vengeance and revenge are presented in Vinland Saga, and also try to elicit some writing tips for anyone wanting to write a good revenge tale in the future. However, this time it's gonna be a little different, since I will also use another great manga with a compelling revenge story, juxtapose the two narratives, and see which one worked better. Meet Ella from Hengoku no Schwester. Her adopted mother was burned at the stake, and she vowed revenge against the leader of the religious order who arranged and conducted said execution. This woman. Yeah, not exactly a happy story. So let's see how these two great seinen handle this idea. Now, it's personal. In the prologue, the first arc of Vinland Saga, we encounter not one, but two revenge stories. Thorfinn wanting to kill Askeladd, and young Askeladd wanting to kill his father. In both cases, the goal of our punishers is to end a specific man, who personally caused them harm. Note that they aren't fighting against an idea or a group of individuals, just one man. This makes the struggle very personal and allows the writer to flesh out both of the victim and the aggressor. Seeing these characters interact and clash time and time again, whenever Askeladd allows for a duel, that is, builds a lot of tension and creates many memorable moments between the two. Like the "do you see" moment, when Askeladd uses the grapple that Thorfinn will later use against Garm, or the missions that Askeladd assigns to Thorfinn in order to grant him his duel. Now, Hengoku no Schwester goes about it a lot differently, since the protagonist / punisher and the villain / victim have never actually met. Yeah, they have seen each other once, when Ella's mother was executed, but they have never even exchanged a word. This narrative choice creates less memorable moments between the two, but fits this narrative better, since in this case, Ella will have to slowly infiltrate the Claustrum order and work in the shadows until she can reach the top and face her nemesis. She will have to convince the villain that she is on her side and wait patiently for her chance to strike. The supreme leader of the order isn't just gonna let an angry teen with an axe to grind to be near her. She's much more cautious and calculated than our boy Artorias. When you really think about it though, this idea of slowly gaining a person's trust before betraying him isn't foreign to Vinland Saga. Askeladd used this method to slowly get integrated into his father's household and then strike him down. One of my biggest issues with Askeladd was how he allowed Thorfinn to be so close to him, even though he knew his intentions. But after Askeladd narrated his life story, I got it. Thorfinn had always been upfront with his emotions and intentions, and Askeladd could see Thor's influence on him. Thorfinn would never accept to use outside help, poison, or sneak attacks, much like Thor's would never do that. Thorfinn, simply put, was way too honorable and understood revenge as a form of righteous killing. Ella, on the other hand, will not hesitate to use any means necessary to climb the ranks of the order. Lying, assassinating, even potentially offing people who are on her side to get what she wants. What's next? The idea of revenge in the prologue ends with the death of Askeladd. In one of the most emotional moments of the series, Thorfinn screams at the top of his lungs, "It wasn't supposed to be like this. This isn't how our fight should end. Not like this." And then, what does Askeladd do? He asks Thorfinn whether he had ever considered what he would do next after he had killed. This entire time, Thorfinn has based his life on this singular life goal, to kill Askeladd. In the end, when he was robbed of that goal, nothing but his rage remained. And this interaction not only reveals the futility of revenge, but also loudly proclaims to the protagonist and the audience that revenge is not a valid goal. It's not something you can build your life upon. I ask you this: what would have happened if Thorfinn was mortally wounded in one of the fights in the prologue against Torkel or the British Guards? All his struggle would have been for nothing, and all his youth would have been squandered. A young man dying for nothing. Now, if you do want to write a revenge story, this could be a direction to take your character, or alternatively, you could go the Hengoku no Schwester route. Ella acknowledges the darkness of her path and is willing to sacrifice even her own life if it means that she will get her revenge. This route, however, doesn't leave many options to the author, narrative-wise. Your hero or heroine will most likely have to die in the end. Now, this is all nice and good, but the reason I place Vinland Saga above all other series that deal with the theme of revenge is it provides a solution, an end to this cycle of vengeance. With the inclusion of Hild, Yukimura forces the protagonist and the reader to face the truth about revenge. Even if you do get your wish, and end the person that wronged you, who's stopping other people from doing that to you? Any lesser writer would probably have Hild and Thorfinn face off in a duel to the death, where either one of them would die, and the circle would begin anew. But not Yukimura. Through Thorfinn's actions, the mangaka shows us the way to end revenge. A. Thorfinn has a genuine change of heart and realizes his mistakes. B. Not only does he make this known to everyone, but he also acts accordingly, seeking to help the ones he wronged. And C. His future actions reflect this change of heart. Even though this issue is very controversial, I will point to historic feuds and conflicts between neighboring states. A lot of times countries which have committed atrocities simply wait for time to pass and for everyone to hopefully forget what they have done. They refuse to admit these horrors, refuse to change their perception of the past, but most importantly, refuse to aid the ones they had wronged, for it would be an admission of guilt. This results in feelings of hatred nesting inside people's hearts, and so the cycle begins again. As we can see by Thorfinn and Hild's interactions in the latest chapters, healing the wounds of vengeance is a lengthy process and requires effort and understanding from both sides, mind you. I know I have mentioned this already, but no other series has explored revenge this thoroughly. Many revenge tales simply end with the protagonist being victorious and standing above the dead body of his enemy. But very few series go the extra mile and show what happens next and how can people deal with these feelings. I would like to hear your opinions on Vinland Saga, revenge themes and revenge stories. Do you like these kind of stories? I think most of the time they're very shallow. So leave your comment below and let me know, what do you think about Vinland Saga and the theme of revenge? By the way, have you checked out Hengoku no Schwester? Oh, I highly recommend it. It hasn't finished yet, so we don't know if the ending will really conclude the series in a nice way, but well, check it out. As always, don't forget to hit like and smash that subscribe button.